Hi, everyone. Welcome to The 60 Project, a podcast produced by Livewire Productions in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is a podcast about navigating our 60s. I'm Tracey Thomas, and I just finished my first film, a featured documentary called My First and Last Film, where I sought out to learn more about turning 60, talking to 60-year-olds, and dealing with the loss of my mother and my filmmaker partner and boyfriend, Dennis Peters. But even when I finished the film, I didn't feel like I was done interviewing people in their 60s. I wanted to learn more about what's next. And this is where the 60 Project begins, a podcast where I ask people about the big ones, about death, dying, love, loss, and about recognizing yourself even better with every passing day. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the 60 Project podcast. So glad to have you joining us today. And just want to say thanks again for tuning in each week. We have a new episode up every Wednesday morning. So we try to bring you interesting, fun, enlightening people. And that's the situation today. We're still in the pandemic, so we're still doing it remotely. So we appreciate you hanging in there with us, and hope you're all doing well and staying healthy and sane and doing what you need to do to get through all this. My guest today is a lovely woman who I'm not quite sure how long ago we met, maybe 5 or 6 years, and I've longer? Maybe less, I don't know. We'll get into that though. And she's in Milwaukee here, and she's part of the Core El Centro family over in Walker's Point. And Core El Centro, we'll talk about that, but it's a nonprofit organization that has affordable healing and wellness services for those that need it, Spanish and English clients. And so I met her there at a dance class, Nia class. And I love this woman, and I don't get to see her enough. And has this, I was almost going to skip today, but I thought I was feeling crabby and I didn't sleep well. And I thought I need to talk to Barb, and she has this great aura and great energies and a positive person and does a lot of good things for a lot of people. So let's welcome Barb Wesson, everybody. Hi, Barb. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks. Thanks so much for being
here. Dance studio.
There's your dance studio. She's in her home, and I've been in your home for a couple of classes, I believe, and it's.
You have.
I think that 1 or 2. I kind of go in and out with your classes, and you know, I'm all over the place, so I can't seem to get a routine to save my life these days. So Barb is joining us, and we're going to talk about a little bit about her and talk about aging a little bit. And Barb, I think you are close to 60, right? 58?
Almost. Right? I'll be 58 this year.
Okay.
So we're getting my way up the hill to 60.
Okay. How are you? Does that scare you or anything feel weird about turning 60?
No, I love getting older. I think it rocks. I celebrate my birthday a day for every year I am old. So this year I get to celebrate for 58 days. It just gets better, you know. I tell people it's my birthday even when it's not, because it's my birthday for 58 days.
Wow. So on your birthday, you do the countdown from there as far as the number of days, or 58?
And somebody gives me a gift before my birthday, it starts then. It starts whenever I decide it starts.
I like that. That's kind of a no-nonsense attitude. I like it.
And fun.
And fun.
You need to have fun on our birthdays.
Well, you do, because I think birthdays are worth celebrating. Some people like, oh, I don't want to talk about my birthday. It's like, I don't know. I think we're lucky to have them.
Talk about how old I am. It's like, talk about how old you are.
Yeah, I never had a problem with talking about my age. People say, why would you say your age? It's like, well, what am I going to do? Lie? No one's going to believe me. And plus, you know, then if I say my age, like I'm 65, they go, oh, like, are you sure? I'm like, why would I lie about that? Why would I lie
Well,
about
you
being
look for
65?
65. Like, but what is 65 supposed to look like? What is
Well,
60 supposed to look like anymore?
kind of. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a conversation with someone the other day, and we're talking about the age thing, and it's like, our parents and grandparents back in the day, it's a whole different look, and I think we're more vibrant, more active, and we have a better mental attitude. I think most of us, not all of us, but
Yeah.
right. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So what do you do on for those many days? Is it the same every year, or you do different things on different days, and it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. I just say happy birthday to myself, and sometimes I don't tell the coffee shops. Sometimes I fib. I say it's my birthday, and then I get a free cup of coffee.
Yeah, and are they going to check your ID? Probably not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The field loves me, so it's okay.
Yeah.
For my 52nd birthday, I'll tell you, for my 52nd birthday, leading up to that birthday, I saved fuel-free coffee cards for about a year and a half. It took me to get 52. So I got a free coffee every week for a whole year on my 52nd birthday. According to the Mayans, you start your life over at 52. With new energy and all of that, and wisdom. And so I thought, okay, let's go big on 52. So I collected 52 cards.
Wow. That's pretty generous of them. I mean, seriously.
Well, no, I had to earn them.
You had to earn them?
Earn them. I had to drink 10 cups of coffee to get every free one. So I had to do 52 cups of coffee.
Do you still drink coffee?
I drink decaf. I wasn't supposed to drink coffee anymore when I got to the C. So
I don't know about that. I think I heard rumors about that, but let's talk about that a little bit down the road. Let's talk about how we met. You think it was less than 5 years ago?
Well, how long since your husband passed, or your partner?
Dennis, not my husband, but boyfriend. He's been gone. Well, he's been gone it was 4 years in February, and I knew him from
And you came in about 6 months after he passed, I think.
Was that it?
It was something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it was after he had passed, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. And Barb, I don't know if you're still doing that over at Core El Centro, but it's a class called NIA, and it's a movement class. It's dance, and it's very spiritual, and it's very free flowing.
All mind, body, spirit, emotions, dancing it all. Yeah, absolutely I am. And now I'm doing it on Zoom now 6 days a week. So I'm teaching more classes for the public than I was before COVID.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great type of class, and I don't know how I got wind of it, who told me about it, but I joined, and I really loved it. And I think the first time I don't know if it was the first class, and I was so moved, I started crying. I was crying, and someone came up to me after the class. It's a choreographed class, lovely music, really uplifting, cool music. And someone came up to me after I started crying, and they said, "This happens to everybody." I'm like, because it was so. I mean, right place, right time. I don't know, or it's the
no. It happens.
Yeah,
it happens to so many people. I think it's just the whole liberation of being able to move in the way that we want to, and be with the people. And the movements, there's some magic that's created with the choreography and the music. That's another part of it. When the music goes boom, we go boom. And that sort of symphony with the body and the music and movement together just creates this thing in the body that makes it say, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful."
It is beautiful.
I remember in my first training, I did NIA for like 16 years. Now I call it conscious dance, but this is the same thing. When my first week of training ever, I think it was like the third or fourth day, we were just free dancing around, and all of a sudden I just broke into a puddle of tears. I was almost hysterical in the dance floor going, "Oh."
Right, I know.
And my trainer said, what happened? What was that? And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Okay." It's fun. Yeah.
No, it's and every class I took, I went religiously for a long time, twice a week. I think.
A year almost.
Yeah. And every class, I had kind of the same reaction. It was just, it's addicting, and it's just, so you guys, anybody, guys and girls out there, if you want to take this class, we'll kind of give some information at the end of the podcast here where you can hook up with Barb and take one of her online classes, because it's just
Absolutely.
yeah.
It's fun.
So how did you get started in Nia?
Oh,
Happenstance?
well, that's a fun story. So I was back in 2003, I opened a weight management franchise because I had used the franchise to lose weight myself. So I opened a franchise, and it was going well, but I knew that if someone needed to keep their weight off, one of the things they needed to do was exercise. It's just, if you don't exercise, it's really hard to keep your weight off, especially for those of us who have a propensity to gain weight. So I was learning how to be a step aerobics instructor. I was going to a step aerobics class. The instructor's name was Wendy, and she was fabulous. She was so motivating. She had very complex choreography, and so we did the same routine every Sunday for 3 years. I did the same routine. I liked doing the same routine. It was really weird. So I had memorized it, and I was learning how to do it. And one of my clients came to me one day, and she put a brochure on the table, and she said, "You need to do this." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And she said, it's an exercise. I don't know. It's really cool though. I think you'd be really good at it. And I said, well, okay. And so I was looking at the brochure, and the trainings were $14.99 at that time. And my business was a little shaky. And so I said, oh, I can't afford that. There's no way I could afford that. And she sat back in her chair, and she thought for a minute. She turns out to be one of my elders. And she sat back, and she said, she said, if you'll do it, I'll pay for it.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I'll do it. And so I went to train. I signed up, and I'd never taken a class. I'd never seen it. We didn't have the internet back then.
Okay.
I couldn't think about that. I couldn't go back.
Try. It's hard to.
I know. 1997, we barely had it going.
Barely had it going. Yeah.
And it wasn't. Yeah. So I had to. I got some videos in the mail then, and I did the pre-training, and then I went to the training, and I had never taken a real class. The training was my very first real class, and it turns out bunches of people do that. So that's how I got started. And once I started doing it, I just said, well, of course, this is fabulous.
Well, yeah. That's a great story.
Yeah. And as this is about 60 and going through life and getting older, this is one of those dances, whether you call it Nia, there's all kinds of them now. People have broken off of Nia and started doing other things like I have. So it's just this conscious dance sort of thing. And as we get older, this is one of those things we can stick with. I have a woman in my class who's 85 years old, and she's kicking it right alongside of me. And so, we adjust as we need to as we get older, but we don't have to stop doing this dance. My goal is to die on the dance floor. I know it'll be tragic for my students, but it'll be the best for me. I'll be like, I did it.
Wow. So, well, yeah. And you can, for my audience here, I mean, when you take one of Barb's classes, she's really into it and really, really loves it. I mean, this is your this is your passion, and you have this following. When I was taking it, the same people every week for years and years, and it's just dance. It's not like lifting weights or doing push-ups and all that kind of stuff, that's all well and good. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just dancing, and it's like,
letting go, being free, and the ability to let go is really a challenge. There are so many people that are really just hanging on, and it's really important just to let go and look ugly on the dance floor.
And look ugly, yeah, I'm sure. And there's like a lot of missteps and stuff, but nobody cares. No one's going, oh my gosh, she's like a terrible dancer. It's like,
and I don't correct. I'm like, you figure it out. I'll give you enough instruction, and over time you'll figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, it doesn't matter. So
yeah. Well, and your point about letting go, which it fits right into the 60 thing, and it's time for us as we get 50, 60, kind of let go of some stuff that no longer is of value to you. So on the dance floor is the perfect way to let go of some of that stuff. And maybe that's when my first class, I was letting go of something And I just went, oh, it's just like,
Happens.
oh, probably an ugly cry. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it happened. It happened to me this morning. As I was setting the focus for class. My friend's wife just went. Well, she's my friend too. Just went in for a double mastectomy this morning.
Oh, dear.
And yeah, so we set the intention for all those out there who are suffering and all those who are going through tough times. That we just send a little love from our heart. So in addition to letting go, we bring in and we throw away and we give to others.
Yeah, which is how it should be, especially during this pandemic. And I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't want to be seeing from people that I don't know. It's a little disappointing to me. I feel like I'm getting more compassionate because there's so much. Every single person in the world is affected by this. Yeah. Nobody's exempt from it. So I lost my train of thought. It's like, what were you saying? But I feel like people, this is a good way if you're talking about being compassionate and being in love.
Oh, giving and sharing, that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
There we go. There's a Nia move right there.
There's a Nia move. We'll do a little Nia.
Yeah, here's another one. Yeah. Now people are going to think it's just all weird free dance. It's mostly choreographed. People.
It's most, the choreograph and the music. Well, okay. I think everybody's got the picture of it, but I got to get back into it. I got to look at your schedule again. Let's chat a little bit more about this aging thing. Do you feel like at this age you are living your authentic life right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've worked really diligently to do what I want to do.
Perfect.
So career-wise, all of it, I pretty much do what I want to do.
Good.
I like to say I'm a good manifester. So, but I work hard to get the things I want and to get the types of jobs I want.
Yeah. Well, because it doesn't come easy. I mean, we do have to work at it.
Huh?
Yeah,
we do. Yeah. And this technology thing, I never thought that I was going to have to dive deep into the technology the way I am. I'm just like, really? Again today? Now it's my iTunes. It's just one thing after another.
Well, you're right. I feel like at this age, it's like the learning curve is that much bigger. It's like, oh my God. But I
thought I was a techie. I thought I was keeping up, but now I'm not keeping up.
Well, I think you're doing a good job. I know you were struggling a little bit trying to get your dance class online and with the Zoom thing, but I think you've got it now.
It's all right. It's still wonky. Zoom is just wonky though.
Zoom is wonky.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm working on iTunes, on YouTube, getting myself, because I have a channel, so I can stream live, but then we have to have the music rights. And so now it's that whole thing. Now it's the technology of music rights and what do I have to do?
For sure.
And I want to give the artists their due. So,
right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know how that's going to work. I have a girlfriend who does a 3:00 show every day on Facebook Live, just like a little game show. People tune in and they laugh and that. And she had her music on in the background, her Sonos, her radio up real high. And Facebook shut her down because the music they could hear the entire song. So there's that learning curve. I mean, wow.
That's why, exactly. There's the BMA ASCAP. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is as far as I go with the Zoom. I think I'm good. I don't need to do any more. And I was talking to my producer. It's like, I'm afraid, and then, it's not that hard. But I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right. And so anyway, but yeah, a lot of new little things to be learning and I don't know. Yeah. That's what happens. I mean, but that's good though, to keep learning. I mean, I don't want to be.
It is good for our brain. It is good for our brain. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and our brain can seriously continue to grow and mutate itself up until the actual day we die. So I'm just going to keep challenging my brain.
Right.
And play with it. Yeah.
Right. Even though sometimes it might feel uncomfortable. And like I said, I can't do it. It's going to be too hard. I mean, you just kind of, once you get going on something and dive right in, and it's okay. It's not like any big deal. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Sometimes I have a tantrum.
Well, for sure. Oh, yeah. I have a tantrum because I'm a single person and I hate to put men in this this pigeonhole thing, but sometimes when I'm having a bad day or I'm trying to fix something and I can't fix it, and it's like, I wish I had a guy here just for like a day, just to do stupid stuff like that. I eventually get it done, or I ask somebody, but I don't know if that's an age thing or a me thing. I don't know. It's just a.
Well, I got one of them, and he can't help. It's just like, no, I don't know Zoom either. I can't help you. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, got one. It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. Okay, then I'm good. Then I won't throw a tantrum later. Okay. I don't know. I don't feel any tantrums coming on today, so I'm good, I think. Let me ask you, at this age, what brings you joy right now in your life at this age?
Bunches of things.
Okay.
As I don't get to be with my friends, really relationships are one of the things that really drive me. I'm very much a relationship person, and so to not be with my people is really challenging. Zoom has helped that. What else brings me joy? Traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling brings me a lot of joy. We didn't start traveling until we were probably, I think we were in our 40s, really, when we, maybe 30, late 30s. But yeah, I went to Mexico in 2006. So that's not that long ago. That's only 14 years ago. That was really when our international travel started.
Okay.
I think we've been to one international place, but I went to Mexico for 6 weeks to learn Spanish. And yeah, it was pretty fun. I went to a tiny little pueblo in the south of Mexico, in the south of Oaxaca. And I didn't know anybody. I stayed at a hotel for $15 a day, and the family took me in. And yeah, it was a crazy ride. It was a really crazy ride, but it was.
Did you go by yourself? Was that a solo trip?
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know any Spanish. So, and they didn't know any English. So when he picked me up from the airport, it's just like, hi, hola.
I'm here.
Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't even say what's your name or anything like that.
Wow, that's a pretty bold move. And how old were you when you did that?
It's only 16 years ago, so 58, 48, mid 40s. Yeah, mid 40s.
That's pretty.
You're brave in your 40s.
Yeah.
You're brave already. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a brave thing to do, though. But I mean, I don't know.
I'm a brave person. Yeah, it was fun. It was scary. It wasn't scary. It was frustrating. That's what it was. It was frustrating because they promised me a teacher, and when I got there, the teacher never showed up. So there I was without a teacher, and they sent me to. They said, "Oh, of course, I have no idea what they said, but they're like, oh, Lulu, she's an elementary school teacher. She can teach you Spanish." And so they sent me to this amazing restaurant on the ocean because we were right near the Pacific. And so every day almost, I'd go to this little restaurant out by the ocean, swing the hammock, drink a little beer, eat great food, and learn Spanish. It was really bad. She didn't teach me very good Spanish, but it was a really great 4 weeks. And then I went to a real school for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they taught me Spanish. Yeah.
Wow, that's so inspirational. I mean, it just shows that we can do anything, anytime we want to.
Anything, anytime. And
it's
easier as we get older. You know, I feel like it gets easier to be adventurous the older I get.
I agree with you, but I have my own answer. But you tell me why you think it gets easier. But I'm probably going to have the same thought you have.
Because I don't care.
Exactly.
It's like, well, and we learned this. There was a really great article I read once that was about traveling. It can be put into any part of life, though. And he said, what you have to do when you're traveling the way we travel, because we travel rustically, where not many people go and all that. And he said, you got to fail forward. And I went, oh.
And what?
Fail forward.
Oh.
You fail, go. Fail, go. Fail, go. Don't sit. And then a businessman used the same words, but he said you got to fail forward fast. And I thought, oh, okay.
Meaning you fail and then
just move on
and just keep moving on. Don't like sit on that failure for a while and woe was me for like months and months and just kind of get right back out there.
Yeah, or even days, because
Okay.
we're only on vacation for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, 2 weeks usually.
Yeah.
And, I can't fail on day 3 and mourn about it for 3 days. It's 3 days of vacation wasted. So it's like,
Yeah.
my time card's still in the time machine and it's 4 hours away. Oh, well, we scraped the car coming out of the garage. Oh, well, that took a little longer. That one took a little longer.
Yeah, well, sure. Well, that's
Yeah.
a little more involved, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a major concert in this town and we don't get hotels in advance and nobody has a hotel room for Sunday night. There's ones for Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but nothing on Sunday. Okay, let's go find a hotel. And we found a great hotel. So fail forward. I think it's a great life thing too.
I got to write that down. I'm writing some things down from some of my guests, because there's some little nuggets of wisdom I'm gleaning from all you lovely people.
Well, that's what we get when we get older, is we get lots of little nuggets of wisdom.
Right?
Right.
Because we have all that experience behind us to, give us this wisdom. I don't know. I feel pretty lucky that I feel like I'm pretty smart and like I said something the other day, like I'm making good choices in my life to get where I am. I like to think things through. I might not be as adventurous as you, but I like to plan out my vacations a little bit more, but I tend to lean a little bit more these days to like, oh, well, like whatever. Like people get all bent out of shape about a delayed flight or this and that. It's like, really? It's like, wow. Is that the hill you want to die on? No, it's not.
Exactly. Is that the worst thing that could ever happen to me? No.
Yeah, no.
It's not.
And I think as we get older, we get a little more relaxed with some of that stuff. And a lot of it just kind of doesn't matter. I mean, there's much bigger things to worry about, I think.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah. My mother lived till she was 95 and a half. So it was interesting to watch someone get that old, because that's pretty old. And
she, from what I remember, she jumped out of an airplane at age 90 or something, or 80 or
90.
90?
90. We did. We jumped together. Yeah. And your viewers, you can go watch it. Margaret Skydives 90 will get you. She's got 4.5 million views now. She went viral. Yeah. She went viral. She has thousands. I have 13,000 subscribers on my website because of my mother's skydiving. Yeah.
You?
It's really, yeah, it's really fun. And so when she died, when we were thinking about her service, somebody came up with the thought that the one of the songs that memorializes her really well is Frank Sinatra's My Way.
Yes.
So our soloist, we changed all the words to Her Way. She did it her way. And it was so apropos for our mother. I mean, our mother she was just a tough ass woman. She just did what she wanted to. And we found things and pictures of her life before she met my father. She got her entire 20s all to herself. She didn't get married till she was 31. And she was a little hottie. And she did all of these really interesting things that she never really told us about. It was really kind of fun. Yeah.
She was her own person.
She was her own person. And Dad died when I was 6. So she only got 13 years of marriage with him, had 4 kids, and he died. She just went on and just kept going. And she worked until she was 85. She worked at menial jobs. She was an entrepreneur before she met my father. She owned her own beauty salon. Wow. And this is in the 40s. If you think about it, she left a small town up in northern Wisconsin and went to the Twin Cities when she was 18 years old to go to beauty school. And people are like, well, what's the big deal? I'm like, what's the big deal? It was the 1940s, my goodness.
That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal.
It was a huge deal, yeah. So that's who my mother was. My mother was really an entrepreneur. She wasn't a dishwasher or a laundry person in the nursing home. She was an entrepreneur. And then she skydived at 90 to give us all the what for.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. She was way ahead of her time because women back then it was kind of unheard of. I'm sure there was a few that didn't go to college and didn't do this and didn't do that, and they just wanted to get married and have children, which is nothing wrong with that. But she sounded like she was a little kind of a trailblazer.
Yeah, she was one of those subsets of independent women in the early 40s. And when I watch those old movies now, I'm thinking, that's my mother. That was my mother going out to those clubs and those dances and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. And this is pretty cool. I got some of her clothing. This is how I got my dancing. She was a semi-professional folk dancer with my father. That's how I met. And so I got dancing blood in me from both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got to dancing. And we still had some of her dancing clothes. When she passed away, she had kept some of her costumes. And I just yesterday found a woman to wear them. I found a friend of mine is just small enough, and made me cry. I'm like, there's my mother. My mother's still here. She's got a presence here. Yeah.
That's so amazing. Thanks for sharing that lovely story. She just sounds like, did you get a lot of your traits from her, your independence and entrepreneurship and that kind of, your
both, but I got
for kind of attitude kind of thing?
I think I got a lot of that from my father. My mother was a worrier too. The other side of her was the worrier. Okay. And she got a little conservative and all of that. So I think my father I got my humor and all of that from my father's side. But I got my entrepreneur. Well, my dad was a carpenter. He was an independent carpenter, so he was an entrepreneur too. So I was born not to be able to work for anybody. I'm a bad employee. I quit Cora. I'm now just a contractor. I was an employee for 4 years doing their outcomes, and I finally quit. I'm like, I can't. I just can't be an employee anymore.
Yeah. Well, and what you're doing now is you're serving others and bringing joy to others, and that's more you. I think I totally cannot see you working behind a desk or in an office. Or
I love data. I'm a data freak, Tracey.
A data freak?
Yeah. Do you know I'm a professor at the university?
I don't think I knew that. All my guests have interesting little things about them. Tell me more.
Yeah, I finally got my PhD when I was 55.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm one of the oldest people in the College of Health Sciences to get a PhD. Proud of that. But so I teach introduction to complementary and integrative health. And my next career is actually I'm building a platform for people who use natural health on a regular basis to go in and start to talk to me about what they do. Because we don't have enough information around natural health, massage, acupuncture, all the things that Core does. And we just have studies that are really short term, but what about those of us that have been using natural health for 25 years, 30 years? Why have we been using it? What's it been doing for us? And why do more people need to know about it? We really need to get back to the natural health. And I think COVID-19 speaks to this so well.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that the herbal use in the Eastern countries, in Asia, I think that there's something that's happening there with their continued use of herbal medication in addition to the Western stuff that has come up. So that's my last passion. That's my last hurrah until I'm 65 is to get this platform up and running so we can get more of a sense of really how people use natural health.
Well, and I'm glad you're talking about this because I read some stuff almost every day about the natural methods and like acupuncture and all these massages and all this stuff should be part of the mainstream as far as a healing service and to really, you know what I'm trying to say. It should be accepted as with Medicare and medical insurance, like this is a real thing that will help people.
Yeah. If athletes can have a massage every day, because it keeps their body healthier, why can't I have one at least once a month? Right. You know, and have it covered by my insurance. I'm sure the athletes don't have to pay for their massages.
No. Well, no, they have. They do PT and they do massages and they do the cryo tanks.
They do acupuncture. They do all kinds of stuff now.
Exactly.
So yeah. So I really that's my
good for you
is to do that. Just help push that policy. So.
Well, stay tuned, everybody, for Barb's next adventure in healthcare and natural healthcare.
I'll let you know. Well, and the part of the reason that I'm doing this is because I got cancer 2 years ago, and I didn't want to get my parts cut out because I have a slow growing carcinoid tumor. It's actually called indolent in the literature. That's lazy. It's a lazy tumor. And a lazy tumor can be dealt with. And so I'm like, I want to do this naturally. I want to do what I need to do naturally. But the pushback I get from the medical world is amazing. Like I can't go get a colonoscopy right now to find out where it's at, because I can actually have a colonoscopy and they can take a picture of it because it's right next to my little valve. And they're saying, no, you can't, because that's an optional. And it's because I'm not under anybody's cancer care. So it's not considered necessary for me, but it is necessary for me because it's part of my cancer treatment.
Right.
But that's not how they see it. And so I can't get one. And I'm going, wait, this is wrong. This is really, really wrong. So
yeah, that seems wrong. Isn't a colonoscopy part of normal healthcare? Like a certain age, you should get a colonoscopy every 5 years or 10 years or something.
Well, I got one 2 years ago when I was first diagnosed. And because my colon was perfectly healthy, I don't have to have a colonoscopy for 10 more years.
Okay, right. Same.
But I'm using colonoscopies as my testing measures. And that doesn't work for the Western medicine folks. It doesn't work for them. So yeah, so right now I'm going to start doing the push to, come on, give me the colonoscopy. This is not, this is cancer care. This is not just an optional thing. So,
it's a preventative. I mean,
it's colonoscopy, but for me, it's not preventative. For me, it's actual diagnostics.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not just preventative, because there's nothing wrong with my colon. My colon's perfectly fine. That's not why I'm having the colonoscopy. But that doesn't register.
That doesn't
register. There you go.
It's not on the radar. It's like,
So that's reason number one why I've become really, really bully about how I need to be able to choose how I want to do my
right.
healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to be our own healthcare providers, it kind of seems, doesn't it?
I'm completely my own healthcare provider. I have a primary care physician, but when I contacted him about this, he said, why don't you call this number and see if they're even doing colonoscopies? And I said, could you advocate for me?
Thanks for your help.
Hello, doctor.
Wow.
So yeah, my acupuncturist is actually my doctor. She hates that when I say that, but that's really, she's the one who gave me all the things that I had to stop doing. And I went to her every week for a whole year, just to see how I could get my body back into homeostasis so it can heal itself.
Okay.
I mean, that's really what most of the natural health is all about, is helping us find balance. And the older we get, the more challenging it is to bring our body back into balance, because it just doesn't work as well as it used to. You know? We wear it out.
We wear it out, and we have to take extra or different measures to, like you say, keep it in balance. And because things don't work quite the same as they used to as when I was 30 or 40, even 50. I mean, things are a little...
they get wonky. Yeah.
They get a little wonky and a little... So how are you feeling now? Are you kind of on the mend? Are you...
I feel great. I've never felt bad. I've never had any symptoms. I found out because I got a food block in my intestine, and when they did a CT scan, they accidentally found the noid. So I have never had a symptom. According to me, I don't even know that I have it. So that's very interesting too, on the picture of health. And yet supposedly, I don't know. Wow. So my blood tests tell me that my cancer residue, serotonin whole blood level, is back within normal range. So with a range you could have from 50 to 200, I'm in that normal range, which to me means that I'm killing it. That I'm over time.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting ride, and I'm so healthy. I don't drink, I don't do caffeine, I don't do sugar, I don't do carbohydrates. I
don't do any of that.
Yeah, and so I'm probably healthier than I've ever been in my life right now.
Yeah. And I just feel better. I mean, by eliminating all that stuff, I feel it just makes me feel better mentally. Like I know I'm doing good things for my body, and I just have more clarity and more
More clarity. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And then that can take us to core. That's a nice segue to core.
Yeah.
Core is that place where anybody can go to start to reestablish that balance or homeostasis in the body. You know, acupuncture, Reiki, they have weird things there like core biosynchronism, and I don't even know what it is, but
I don't know what
it's
that
sort of
is.
a cross between cranial sacral therapy and Reiki or something like that.
Okay.
But
Wow.
it's just everything that happens there, all the services that happen there, just bring people to this place of,
Yes.
that's the place where we need to be on a regular basis.
And I was just going to say that's where we need to be. No matter what your age is, we all just need to just chill out. Just bring that nice balance and calmness and peacefulness, which is where I keep saying to people, this is where I'm going in my life right now at this age. Moving forward, I want it to be peaceful and calm and reflective, and I don't need to have all this chaos around me and craziness. And, you know, I go on more, I find I'm going little solo weekends by myself and little solo trips, and just doing more calming, balancing things. I mean, I don't know. It just makes me feel, I just don't need all that external stuff so much anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a real driven society that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And I see it in my students at school, the amount of anxiety and depression in the young people at school is just really sad. And I have to tell you, I did this one thing. I'm a hugger. Are you a hugger?
I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger. I'm a big hugger. I would, before this whole thing, I was, you know, my coworkers and I would hug each other. It's good morning hugs. And I asked my students one day, I think this was the last day that I actually saw them before they shut down the university. And I said, how many of you guys get a hug every day? And not one single person raised their hand.
Oh.
And I thought,
wow.
I said, you guys, that makes me so sad.
Yeah.
I said, I really, really encourage you guys to find people to hug. They think I'm so far out there.
Well, I mean, maybe you're far out there to them, but to the rest of us, hugging is kind of a normal thing. And it's just, but I think my mom back in her day, when she was talking with a girlfriend yesterday, and we're talking about our mothers, and it was her birthday yesterday, and she said her mother called her and said, I love you. And she said that's the first time in 55 years her mother has said, I love you to her. And I related the story to my mother, like back in the day when my mom was in her 50s, or probably later, probably like 70s or 80s. She finally said, not finally, but she had a hard time saying, I love you. When she said it once, I'm like it shocked me because it was such an unfamiliar, because all you young people, you all say everything you feel and you don't hide your feelings. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So I think maybe that generation born in the 40s and I mean the 20s and 30s and 40s are like, they didn't kind of get that. So I don't know. So the hugging thing, I'm okay with hugging.
Yeah, but my sisters and my siblings and I started asking them when mom was passing. I'm like, did we hug when we were little? None of us really remember hugging.
Yeah, I guess I would have to really dig really deep, but I don't know if I remember either. I mean, I guess you probably, if you're playing and kind of put your arm around your sister or something, or I don't know, but.
I mean, my mother hugging us.
Oh, mother hugging. Yeah, I don't know. That was.
She didn't say she loved us much. It took a long time. When she was older, when she was up in her 80s and 90s and stuff, I would say it, and then she would say it back.
Yeah.
And once in a while she would say it.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. It's assumed.
It's assumed.
It's assumed. Of course I love you. Why do I have to say it?
Yeah. And talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and she was telling the story about her mom, and I said, and my girlfriend was like, that was just so, she's never said it. And I said, think how hard that was for her to do that. And she goes, oh yeah, that's a really good point. Like, it didn't come easy to her if she didn't say it in all those years. It's like, my girlfriend's like, oh, okay, if you put it that way. She was spinning it a whole other way, but I'm like, think how hard that was for your mom to get up that courage to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, and now especially with this pandemic thing, it's like, I think it feels like more people are being more honest about their feelings and saying I love you more and trying to stay in touch with their friends more, which is how it should always kind of be. But this is hopefully bringing more of that. Like, it's a good reminder to kind of get over yourself and think about others, and
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible thing what's going on, but maybe we should have lockdowns once a year. They do it in Europe. They have mandatory 6-week vacations,
That's right. That's right.
It's like, what would happen if our country started acting a little bit more laid back and stop having to push for that almighty dollar all the time?
Right. Yeah. And it's the slowing down, like I was saying before, my path going forward, I want it to be calm, and the slowness right now, this is like perfect for me. It's just like, I'm good. I could live this way. I mean, I miss my friends, obviously, being, going out to brunch with my friends and going to the coffee shop and just, observing people and that kind of stuff. But, yeah, the rat race that we're all used to. And it's just, we don't take time to stop and think about stuff. We just go, go, go,
Yeah.
We're not living in the moment as much as we should be, I believe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's really what I'm hoping for. As I'm heading towards 60, I'm actually looking forward to the 65.
Okay.
So because we plan on stopping, I'm hoping that he can actually stop working at 62.
Okay.
And start figuring out what to do. But yeah, I can't wait to be 65 so I can stop working and start playing it'll be COVID-19 every single day. Except for I get to go to coffee shops.
Right.
That's my thing. My thing is coffee shops. So,
I love coffee shops, and I'm retired.
What's your favorite coffee shop?
What?
What's your favorite coffee shop?
Well, I don't have a favorite one. The newest one over here by me it's called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's over on Ogden and State or something, and it's kind of brand new. What the heck is it called? It's got a real simple name, it's like Fairgrounds. It's called Fairgrounds.
Okay.
And I think I was there in December or January. But I kind of like the Colectivos are nice. But I kind of like the ones that aren't a brand name, like just kind of the little tucked away on a corner over on Pleasant Street. There's some coffee shops and just, little out of the way kind of places. Would you have a favorite one? Like over on Brady Street, there's some fun ones. So Fuel is a good place too. Fuel's a good
That's
one.
my place. That's my place.
On 5th Street or on?
Center. No, Center
Yeah,
Street.
Center.
I live in River West. So.
Oh, you do? Okay.
River
Oh, yeah,
West.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, when this is all over, we'll have to meet at Fuel Cafe and
Okay, let's do it.
have a little
Have a cuppa.
a cup of something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love coffee.
Yeah. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea, but I just I never used to go out to coffee shops, and I would just be at home and do my film work and stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, let's go to a coffee shop. So then I made a point of like almost every day going out to a different coffee shop and just it got me out of the house. It got me seeing people. It got me hooking up with people and observing people. And I don't know, it's kind of nice. I don't know.
Nothing like a coffee shop. Back in the day, I've been to I think the Fuel opened, I think I started going to the Fuel a couple of years after it opened, and one of the guys there, one of the young men that worked there was a soup maker. He was truly the soup Nazi, and he would make a different soup every day, homemade from his head for the most part. And I went there almost every day for lunch, and it was this whole soup thing. It would be like, that was really great, and then we'd talk about his soup, and I'd give him feedback, and he was the bomb. It was the best. That was the best time ever at the Fuel Cafe.
That's so great. And when I travel, I try to hit up coffee shops and bookshops, like the little local ones. And those are, you can go to all the big things all over the place, but
bomb.
What?
Yeah. When it's a coffee shop, bookstore, that's like
yeah. There was one in, I want to say, North Carolina, and there was a bookshop, record shop. I was in heaven. It's like I'm just like flipping through records and albums and books, and that's like people were sitting there having their little coffee and oh my God, it was just the coolest place. So it's like a few tables you could sit and have coffee or tea or something. It's like, wow, really? Man, that was the best. That's nice. The fun part of traveling, just finding those little hole in the wall places or undiscovered, wow. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, at this age, do you feel like, because some people kind of like do the shoulda, woulda, coulda stuff. Do you feel like approaching 60 is a wake-up call to do more, to accomplish more? I mean, you want to accomplish your healthcare thing, but where did she go?
No, I don't feel the need.
Good.
I only want, okay, I want to accomplish my platform, my last business,
Right.
but I don't feel, if it doesn't happen,
Okay.
I won't be destroyed at all. No,
Okay.
no, I've done a lot. I don't feel the push or the pressure to like I don't want to be a professor that, has to write all these papers and do research and all that stuff. If I want to do research, I'll do it, but I don't want to be forced to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I'm an independent consultant. That's why I can't work for anybody. No.
I agree. We should be enjoying this time of our lives, right? I mean,
Yeah. I think my last thing was the last thing I really, really wanted was my PhD. That was the thing I really wanted that. That was, so I pushed really hard to get that.
That's huge. That's a lot of work. So congrats to you on that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I wanted to quit a lot.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want second careers, and I'm like, okay. No.
My health platform is sort of like my second career.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
would be like my last. Yeah, but no, I don't have any of that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I just think it's going to be interesting. I just want to know what it's going to be like when I'm 70, and am I going to hit 80, and what am I going to be like, and am I still going to be dancing? Am I going to be healthy? Am I going to have my mind? And if I don't have my mind, don't put me in one of those nursing homes. I have a euthanasia plan already.
Do you?
Place. Yeah. So I'm
I
good.
I don't have a euthanasia plan. I have a giving my body a science plan, but I don't have a. Are you going to be like on Grace and Frankie, where they took care of their friend and she had a party when she was very ill, and this woman had a party and they all took care of her and they all went in and took pot or LSD or something, and then I don't know. Are you going to do something like that?
Well, it was close. It's close, yeah. Except for I have my two, since I don't have any children.
Okay.
I have found two young women who have agreed to take care of me when I get old. They love me. So yeah, I know. It's really wonderful. And one of them's Mandy. You know
I
Mandy.
do. I love
Yeah.
her. She's amazing.
One of them is her. Yeah, she's one, and the other one is a nurse. And so one of my plans, I don't know if this will work out, but one of my plans was when I'm ready, I'll tell them I'm ready, and we're going to go up north in the winter, and we're going to go on some back road, and we're going to drink a lot of wine, bottles of wine. I'm going to drink, and then I'm going to fall asleep, and they're going to leave, and I'm going to be fodder for the animals. And
Really?
yeah.
What if that sounds good on paper, but it might not be winter when you're ready to go, and it might not be.
Oh, I'll make sure I wait till winter.
Okay.
Or it'll be winter. Or I'll move out to Washington with Linda. Linda's the other one, and she lives in Washington, and they have the right to die out there. I just have to live there for 6 months, and then I'll have the right to die. You writing that one down?
I am.
Yeah. All of them out west, Portland, California, and Washington, all have the right to die.
Portland, Oregon? Portland, Oregon? Yeah, I love Portland. Okay.
Yeah, I like Portland too, but she lives in Washington, so I'll go there. Yeah, but that's my other plan. That's my secondary plan, because it might be that I'm fine, but I'm just not quite ready to go. I'll just go out there for a while.
So go.
Mother, see, this is my mother. What?
What?
See, this is my mother, because my mother told us when she was 85. My mother said, "When I need to, you don't have to worry. I will go right into that nursing home. I worked there for 35 years. I don't have a problem going in." And we were like, yeah. But then she got to be about 92 and everything started falling apart. And her statement was, "I'd rather die than go to the nursing home." And so on January 1st, when she called me on January 31st, she said, "I think I'm ready to go to the nursing home." What she really said to me was, "I'm ready to die."
Yeah, right.
And she fell,
right,
and she died 3 days later. And that was my mother. That she did it her way.
She did it her way, exactly.
She never went to the nursing home, and she died when she wanted to. So that's me.
Wow.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it up so that but I'm not going to go to that suffering place. I'm not going to stay alive just to
No.
stay alive. I don't have that in me. I don't.
I agree. I don't,
Yeah.
that's not what I want to do. I mean, if we could die in our own manner, in our own method, in our own time frame, that'd be great. I mean, but I think your thought of a plan to kind of have a kind of a plan in place, you kind of know how you might want to go out. And that's not a bad idea actually, because it kind of relieves, I would think, the pressure a little bit of what's going to happen and who, you have that will thing and the funeral planned out. But I think if you have this lovely thing kind of, it just sounds so ethereal and spiritual and kind of nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, and why do we have to stay here until,
Right. We
the
don't.
bitter end? I have an elder in the nursing home, and I go to the nursing home. Well, now I don't go anymore, but I just see people laying there in their bed, and
Yep.
I think, did you really plan this? The other thing we need to do is when we're here in our 60s, we need to write ourselves a letter, and we need to tell ourselves what we want to do at end of life to ourselves, because my mother could not remember that she was, that she had said certain things to us,
Oh,
that they were okay, because she started losing her memory. And I think that it will be really important for me to see what I've said. And in my own handwriting, what is it I felt when I was 60? And maybe it changes when I'm 70, and maybe it changes when I'm 80, but I still,
right.
I want to, maybe that'll be my when I turn 60 thing. That'll be I'm going to write myself a letter of what I really felt before I lost my mind and couldn't think and got caught up in having to live, I need to live till I'm 100. Why?
Yeah, I don't feel like I need to live to be 100, because I think, number one, I might not be, don't keep me up alive at 100 if I'm going to be barely able to walk or hear or see or something. I mean, I'm happy to live a long time if I'm going to be great. But on the other hand, a lot of my friends might be moved or died or something. So there's that. So then you're kind of alone again. I don't know. That doesn't sound appealing to me at all.
Yeah, my mother, she lived so long that all her friends were gone.
Right.
She had to create new sets of friends.
Right.
Because she kept losing her friends. And it got harder and harder the older she got.
Well, we all know how hard it is to make friends as we get older. I was lucky that after I got divorced and was like 50, and I had to work at making friends, but I did. And I got all these amazing women in my life. And I'm like, how does this happen in my 50s? But as you get older,
that's it. I think that's what the 50s are for, to get our girlfriends.
I have these amazing women, and I kind of miss seeing them. I mean, we text once in a while and Zoom once in a while, but that they are so strong and smart, and they're all got their own creative things going on in their jobs and their careers, and it's like, how lucky am I? We all kind of support each other and feed off each other, and inspired by each other, motivated by each other. It's pretty great, actually. So, and I need to tell them often how cool I think they are, because they are. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and we're all getting older. It's so interesting.
Well,
I don't think about it. I don't think about the fact that I'm going to be 60. And when I do think about the fact that I'm, 60 in a couple of years, I go, wow, 60? What is 60? Now I'm like, oh, maybe 70's old. But then we'll get to 70 and go, oh, 70. Okay, this is 70.
Well, now that I'm 65, I think, 70 is sounding pretty icky right now. That's a big ass number.
No. What is it? 70's the new 50?
No, see, and I think whatever age you are, there's not the 50 is the new 40. It's like, own your age. 50 is the new 50. 50, 60, 60. It's like, don't try to make it. I kind of know what people are going through with that, get what they mean by that, but still, it's like, I'm 60, 65, it's whatever.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun. And I really love it when people say, oh my God, really? You're that old? I'm like, wow, no, stop it. But yes, I am. And I have the wisdom that comes with that.
Yes.
So, for my students, it's like, you guys, you might want to listen to me. I have 30 years on you. I could tell you some things. And
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. How does that go with students or just people in your life? Do you feel like you get along with them, or do you feel like there's some kind of wisdom you should impart on them that they're just not getting maybe at their young age? I don't know.
well, sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, what? Why are you so stupid? Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, I don't impart wisdom to a lot of 20-year-olds if they don't want it. I mean, they gotta want it. I mean, I used to work in the juvenile detention center. None of them wanted my wisdom. None of them. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
you are old. And then I'd say, they say, how old are you? And I'd say, I was in my early 50s, late 40s when I worked there. And I went, I'm 52. And they'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
100.
And I'd be like, oh my God, yes, I'm your grandmother. Listen to me.
Well, and there's that saying that we elders, which is a weird term on its own, we elders, it's our job, our duty to impart wisdom to the youth. But I'm finding that a lot of youth, like you say, they don't want to hear it because, I don't know, did I listen to my parents and my elders back then? I don't think I did. Did you?
No, I don't think they did. No, our culture wasn't brought up that way. Our culture has never been one to say that the older people are the elders and the wise people and that we should go to them to learn. You know, in the more indigenous cultures and less colonized people, the elders are revered.
They're revered, right.
They're elevated and they're like, oh, grandma, what can I do for you? But here they're like, get out of the way, you old bee. So like, what? No.
Yeah, and I feel like our age group, our generation, I think there's like, I don't know if it's so true anymore, but getting pushed out of the workforce and they're going to hire young people instead of older people. I mean, that's a little sad to me, but I feel like we can all contribute something together. I don't know.
I would think, I mean, they can have the new ideas and we can have the tried and true and we can play together. I think I love intergenerational, you know, I like that one of my best friends is only 35. I think, you know, that's real. And I forget all the time that she's 35 and I'm, 58.
Right.
Wow.
Well, we can all learn a lot from each other, I think, no matter where we are in our lives, you know. I mean, if a person's going to be so with the blinders on and so pigeonholed and like my way is the only way and I don't need to learn anything from anybody, well, that's just silly. It's just like.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, there was a point when I thought that I wasn't going to have to learn anything anymore.
What age was that? Like 25?
Yes, somewhere around 20, probably 30,
right.
25, 30. Yeah, because at 30 I was getting old, and I must be done learning.
I know everything I need to know.
That's not correct. That's really not correct.
No, as I keep telling all my podcast guests and anybody who will listen, my mom always said, we're here to learn. Like we're here to learn all the time.
We are, and we just we have to try to get it right.
Yeah, we got to get it right. I mean, because you can just
be nice to each other.
Yeah, gain more wisdom, be nice to each other, and all that good stuff.
And play.
Yeah.
And not take life so seriously, and not be so concerned about money. Not have to have so much. We all need enough to live, and we all need enough to play.
Right.
We don't all need $1 billion. I don't know.
I think this pandemic situation, hopefully, is teaching people that to live more simply and be grateful for what you have and not what you think you should.
And to share, for those that do have billions of dollars, it's like, come on, share.
Right.
This is how is it that this person is on the street and this person is in a castle?
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
crazy, isn't it? Yeah. This is all pretty eye-opening to me. I had to make a phone call last week to my insurance company, and I was talking to this clerk. And we were on the phone for quite a while because he had time and I had time. So we're just kind of chatting about life and everything, how he's cleaning his apartment. And I don't have a girlfriend because I'm too crazy clean, so he can't have his family over. But anyway, that was a pretty odd thing. But he was saying that I just want to go shopping again. And I'm like, really? That's like shopping is a big deal to you? I'm like, no, I'm not a big that would be the least thing I want to do when this is all kind of lightens up a little bit. Shopping is not on my radar at all.
Not on the radar. Well,
No.
shopping in a foreign country.
Yeah. Well, he lived in like South Carolina or something, so I wasn't. He was just like, I just want to go to the mall. Yeah, we're not going to get along. We, can't get along.
I want to go on an airplane somewhere.
Yeah, I want to go on.
I hope we can go to Mexico in October, but I'm thinking now that that's probably not going to happen either.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. I have a couple of trips I had to cancel, and I like to go away in the winter. Like I went to Florida. It was the past February for like a whole month, and I want to do that again. This is the first time I've been able to do that in a lot of years. Like bug out of town for about a month, and that was great. It was so peaceful and calm. It was just like, so I want to do more of that. But I don't know. Even February sounds too soon to me.
I know. We're supposed to go to Thailand in February.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, I don't know if we'll get to go.
It's going to be interesting how this all shakes out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But patience is our friend right now.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Patience has to be our friend. Especially when it comes to all the new stuff we've all had to learn. It's like,
I'm okay. I'm okay to learn more. I don't want to go crazy about learning stuff, but I'm okay to learn enough I need to know to get me through this, that's okay. Yeah.
I took a little break after the first week when I couldn't get the whole Zoom thing perfect. I took a week and just chilled, and then I had to talk with myself and said,
right, exactly.
I need to get crazy about this if it doesn't work. And so I made myself a list of all the different things I could do if technology wasn't being my friend that day. And I keep that list next to my computer. And when my computer's not working, I just look at that list and go, oh, okay, I'll do that. And let it go.
Well, that's really,
I haven't had a temper tantrum in 2.5 weeks. I'm so proud.
I haven't had one for a while. I have little mini meltdowns here and there, but not bad. They're less and less, and they're shorter in duration. So because sometimes it just gets to you like, but we'll get through it. And I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Gotta dance, just dance.
Gotta dance, and I will try to.
You know who Voot Warning is?
What is?
Voot, Voot Warning?
No.
You know his music? No?
No, I don't think
dance,
so.
MF Dance? No? Okay, I'm going to send it to you. It's a 2-minute song. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, please.
It's a great song. I believe that, was it the Bodines? Somebody didn't steal it from him. Somebody else covered it, and I think that they actually got it on a CD. Boots is on a CD, but it's a great song. Yeah. Yeah,
send it to me for sure. I'm looking at the old clock here, and I think this is a good time to kind of put a pin in this, but let's talk about your dance and let people know where they can find your dance classes online here on this virtual world we live in now.
I think the best thing to do is email me, which is really easy, barbwesson@gmail.com, and say, I want a link to your classes. And then I'll put you on the email list, and every week I send out the list of when classes are going to be. 3 days are set, Tuesday, Thursday at 9:30, and Friday at 8:30 are set. Those are every week. And all the other days, I call them random classes. I decide the week before when I want to teach.
Okay.
It's so powerful. I'm like,
because you can. Because you can.
Because I can, I know, it's because I can. And they're all free, folks. They're all free.
They're all free, and I'm amazed that everything is so free. Can somebody throw a donation your way or something, or for these classes?
Sure, you can throw a donation my way if you want to, but you don't have to. This is my service, I want to do something for people, and so this is my service.
Which I'm finding that there's a lot of yoga and a lot of meditation things out there that are free. And donation if you want to, but I mean, it's pretty nice because a lot of people are really struggling right now financially. So.
Oh, absolutely. And the last thing I want to do is make someone feel bad. Yeah. For dancing with me. So it's like, Today we had 20 people on the line, so that was fun. My goal, I want 25. I want another line now. Okay. So my full goal is I have 113 people on the email list every week. And my goal before the end of all of this is that all 113 of us dance together once.
That's awesome.
So That's what I want.
I
That's,
will. I
I,
hope. I
yeah.
hope to join another class. And can people like get on YouTube? You say just if they want to just take a look at the class and see if it's their bag or not. Like they have a little video of
Oh yeah. Well, you can go to Nia TV and look at Nia
Okay.
TV. It'll be similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, and they can get on and they could turn their video off and just stalk us if they want to.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And take it once, and if you don't like it, don't come back.
Right. Exactly. No, it's very fun. If anybody wants a new kind of way to get through this pandemic situation, get a little exercise, a little fun, and
Laughter.
Yeah.
Maybe some crying. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you so much for your time today and the conversation. And it was wonderful to see you. It's great. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And good luck with everything in your life. And let's get together when this is all kind of said and done.
Absolutely.
How about that?
We have another dual passion, or we have a dual passion. Do you know what our dual passion is?
Well, I probably should know this, shouldn't I?
You should.
Oh, WMSC?
Yes.
Yeah, WMSC.
Yes.
Yeah, I miss them. I miss just popping because they're right down the street from me, but I kind of miss going in to see them. So
yeah, I love Tom.
Yeah, Tom is the best. I might think about asking him to be on the podcast. I don't know what his age is, but he might be a good guest anyway.
He's slightly. I remember he was slightly younger than me, so he's probably somewhere around 55.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much. Really
Thank you.
It was a blast. And
thank you.
Yeah, of course. And thanks everybody for listening and watching, and take care of each other and be good and safe, and peace, love, and kindness. We'll see you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.